Well, good news. I'm here at my house, ready to start the HVAC. Got my ladder, got my Coke Zero, got a crappy rev marker that I've used too much. Well, we're going in the ceiling here. So we're gonna have to spot some holes up top here. Basically, plot out in the middle, come out probably 14 to 18 inches, drill up, and then our boot hopefully will be in the center. But a lot of times we'll have to shift a little bit to avoid a joist. So that's what we're gonna do today, start spotting holes, getting boots in the ceiling. As you can see, guys, we have 1, 2, 3 bedrooms right here. That's the return we're not using because that is awful. We're gonna put one in this shared teen space right here, right up there in the corner, because it has to be away from the smoke detector by law. And over here in the living room, you see this is a big open area. We have another smoke detector over there. So we're gonna put another return right here. And then over here is the master bedroom part of the house. You have the master, you got the bath in there, as you can see. And we're gonna put another return. We can't put it right there, daggone it. And I'm not gonna put it on the outer wall. Probably gonna put it over here in the corner because that's pretty much the best spot I can think of. I would really love to have it right there, but that's all right. It'll still do a good job over there. A little bit closer to the bathroom than I would want it to be, but it should be okay. And that'll give us a nice number of returns. We'll put supplies just like you would expect above doors like this. Try to get some symmetry above those cabinets, coming out far enough where it's not blowing on the top of the cabinets. Match them up over here. So good view out there. Back in the country here soon, guys. Keep your fingers crossed. I can't wait to get back in the country. Look at that picture out there. It's damn beautiful. So you guys know exactly what I'm doing here. I'll drill a hole center of the room out as far as I want that supply. And I have aluminum welding rod I got from Harbor Freight. I'm using to kind of drill up there. I'll actually put it in the drill so it'll spin and eat through the insulation so I can see it up in the attic. So we're gonna go up in the attic and try to find that and see if this one will work out in the center. Like I said, a lot of times you have to shift one way or the other. As you guys can see, we're up in the attic. We got a lot of good room up here in the attic. And right over there, you can see our welding rod sticking up. As you can see, we're close to center, but we're still gonna be a little bit off of center right there. So we can probably jog back over toward this joist over on this side, about 4 inches or so. But you wanna leave a little bit of room because we're gonna sandwich that grill to that plaster frame and put them together that way. This device right here, the Skill 12 volt power core, whatever you call it, oscillating tool is awesome. Cutting out these ceiling boots with this thing, this line's a little bit lighter right here because I did it with a pen, is a breeze. You just kind of angle it in like this and travel down the thing, then you can punch out the rest of it really easy. So that's a great tech tip for installers out there if you haven't already done this. I'm back at the house again. It's a different day now, and I'm over here building the stand and the platform the air handler is going to sit on in the attic, and I'll take you guys through that. Basically, I'm ripping these in half, 24-inch sections by 73 inch long. They're 4x8 plywood sheets because you really can't get a full 48-inch width piece up the pull down stairs. So I got 24-inch sections. I'm going to put 4 of them side by side, screw them down because I don't want them to back out. I always use screws. You got some screws here, 2 different sizes, 1/4. So we're gonna get that platform built. I'm gonna put a little stand pump up for the air handler. It's gonna be about, I don't know if I'm gonna make it double height or not. Like I was saying, 3.5 or 7 inches, basically doubling up a 2x4, but we'll see. Depends on how it looks for the drain and everything like that. So let me get this thing put together and I'll show you the finished product. So as you come up the access hall, I'll put a little landing right here. There's the old Roby, like a beast. Just as good as Milwaukee, guys. Every day of the week. All right, that'll give me some thumbs down. Platform stretches out over here. All the way down here is about 8 foot long by 7 foot wide. I'm gonna put a stand right in this area right here. It's an air handler on top of horizontally, 30 by 60 stand. I think I will build it double height just to make it a little bit taller so I can take the lines and drains straight down the wall, out the side of the house and down. I was gonna try to take them down that way, but it's just too far for fall for the drain and just be better off down here. Shorter line set, shorter drain, longer wire, that's all. So something's got to be longer, something's got to be shorter. So I'll get the stand built up and show you guys what it looks like whenever I'm done. So I have my 2 layers of stand built up, 2 layers of 2x4. Got some firms in the center so we don't have any sagging whenever I set the air handler on top. We're gonna have some plywood on top, just like the plywood here. But whenever you have those blocks in the drain pan, it's gonna put stress on certain parts of this whole apparatus. So I want to put some 2x4s across in my general guess of an area where that's gonna be. Everything's screwed down, screwed square, so it doesn't flex or move. So it's in place, it can't move even if you want it to, unless you got a big ass hammer. I'm about to cut some plywood, try to get it in under the wire because we have to leave because my son has an AP test, and we'll get onto the duct work, running lines and drains, just keep on going with it. So we have the stand all finished, even has some leftover plywood. So what I'll probably do is either floor out a little bit more over here for some Christmas tree storage, or more likely just leave us a couple pieces so we can work off of them, or make a little bit of a walkway down through there. Probably wouldn't get very far based on what I got. So I might just make them free so you can sit down on them while you're working. That makes it a little bit easier up here so you don't get the joist crack. Those of you who work in attics know what the joist crack is, of course. So, done for today. We'll pick up probably tomorrow, and I'll bring you guys along with me. I am back over at the house. I have the Bosch air handler here. I just wanted to kind of uncrate it, take a look at it, see what it looks like, get a measurement for the actual width and height of the air handler, stuff like that, so I know which square to round to buy, which box to put on the return side. So let's open it up, take a look, and see what we got down here. Overall, it does seem like it's packaged pretty well. It's got a crate on the bottom of it. It's wrapped completely in cardboard. So it seems like it's pretty decently packed. We'll see what kind of firms it has on the inside. Little styrofoam protector right there. Kind of a light colored cabinet. There's our opening. That's one of the measurements I want to get. I want to get the total cabinet because I want to put a box on the return side with an 18-inch collar off the side. I can add an outside air eventually if I want to. Still haven't decided exactly how it's going to go. I'm pretty sure. Looks like some more padding there, styrofoam. So this is the inside of the air handler. Got a control board right here. Little wiring harness goes down into the motor down here, which looks to be a Gentech. I was a little surprised by that. I was actually expecting maybe a Broad Ocean, but Gentech, that's cool. Looks like the plug is sealed. If you can look in there, I don't know if you can see it. Sealed, so it doesn't have moisture, contamination. We have an aluminum coil down there, very nice. I also thought it was gonna be copper coil, so a couple surprises there. Those baffles come out, the heater will go in. There's a transformer in the back. Looks like some high voltage wire if you're not using the heater probably. So, copper stubs right down there. Got our manual, read the manual guys. Looks like we have some Teflon rings, some various stuff for the drain, some wire ties, some extra screws. The screws in the front were 1/4 inch. Right there. Okay. And the dimensions for this air handler, because I'm figuring out what squared around and stuff I need. 21.5 by 19 3/4 by 46. So relatively small in the grand scheme of things. I might have to disassemble it to get it up this pull down staircase, so I don't have to take the staircase completely out, which I don't want to do. So we'll probably just take it apart, then put it back together in the attic. Kind of a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. It's just a little bit too tight with the springs and stuff in the way. Let me show you guys. So every pull down staircase has these springs, these arms that come down, and you can take them off sometimes and drop the whole assembly. We might do that because it should fit if we do that. Like if we could unscrew here and just drop it down, that might work. Take the cleats out right here and then put them back when we're done. That would be better than having to take the air handler apart, but we definitely don't want to have to take this thing out of the ceiling. That is the worst possible way to do it because we chance messing up the ceiling. And if you guys have noticed from the video, I don't know if you've seen it, they're repairing some of the cracks from shipping. They've done a lot of work in here. There used to be some 2x4s from shipping, so they're fixing a lot of that stuff. Everything's kind of open up here. Let me get over in the corner and show you guys the open up look. There, you can see all the way across through there. Some of our supply grills up there. See supply grills over there. Pretty cool. We're not using that return right there. It's gonna be abandoned. But that's the house, guys. That's where we're at. It's startup time for the Bosch. Gotta anchor some electrical wires. They're a little lazy looking. Thank you guys on the internet that spotted that. Good job, guys. You guys are great. Gonna hook up the old Navac 4 CFM pump. It's awesome. We're gonna one hose it because that's my current feeling today. I'm gonna one hose it to give a nod to the one hose it guys. I love you, Ralph. I love you so much. Just started the vacuum. Hopefully it'll be done in about 10 minutes because we got some rain. I have shut down the vacuum pump. We microned ourselves down to 110 microns. Bosch says you want to get down to 350, drop test it for a minute, and if it stays below 500, you're successful. It's already been over a minute. We're at 118, we're super successful. So we're gonna put in the 12 ounces of charge that the system requires for the length of line set, and then we can start her up in just a minute. So I have my service valve both open. I put the caps back on there. I'm gonna go start up the air handler and check the blower speed, check static pressure and all that stuff. Get that set right, then we'll turn the whole system on. And we are having a little bit of a rain chance. It looks good over here. It looks pretty idealistic over here, but when you go up into those clouds right there, there is some uncertainty. I will be mowing that grass, guys. No judgment, please. See? I weed whacked over here. See? I'm a good guy. Guys, as you can see, we're ramping up right here. You can hear the compressor ramping up. You can see the pressure starting to spread out. Don't have the temperature clamps on it yet, but we have a huge delta inside. It's very warm, so it's gonna want to go into a high stage cooling. Right now we're at 37 Hertz, I guess. I'm gonna double check and check our instructions here because I'm gonna make sure. Instructions girl is here, and yes, thank you. And we're gonna make sure we go through all the cycles, we charge it up, and pretty excited about this. The house is gonna cool down for the first time. House is gonna be cool, Mallory, what do you think? Yeah. All right. So we are running wide open. I forced the machine to run, which you hit a little force button right up here in the top so you can charge everything. And you can see, guys, we are right on target here. We're 299 over 150. We have 8 degrees of superheat, 9 degrees of subcooling right there where the Bosch says to be, or the Bosch manual. I'm gonna go up there and check the static pressure here in just a minute, but my preliminary check up there, I didn't have the blower tables, but we had about 0.15 on the supply and 0.15 on the return, so a 0.3 static. So the duct system seems to be doing pretty well. And again, this is something I got the design from top to bottom, so it's a special case here. And as you can see, we are really draining over here. We have a lot of humidity in the house we're clearing out, and kind of cool to start one of these things up. I've never really had a chance to start something like this up, and you can see why people like these things so much, because just the options that they have and the intuitive nature of the machine. So pretty cool stuff. There's a few other buttons up here. They have a little Wi-Fi button, they have a USB. Some of the stuff I still have to read on, like the dip switches I read up before, but I had to read up on exactly what I'm doing with those again. Force, SW2, check, SW3. Let me do this, let me run through those dip switches to make sure that I have them all set correctly, because I'm sitting here all excited and stuff, and I need to make sure my dip switches are actually set right. I think I checked them already, but let me double check them. So let me get out the manual and we'll check and see. So I went to the manual, of course, guys. Always read that manual, guys. Read the flippin' flappin' manual. And the switches are set the way I want them to be set. Some of the defrost stuff I might be able to manipulate later on, but right now I'm not really concerned with that. The first 4 right there, they're set. The first 2 are set off all the time.
There's a poisonous spider on the board.
There's what?
There's a poisonous spider on the board.
Oh, good grief. Thank God you survived. All right, the last 2 right there are sort of intuitive settings. And to tell you the truth, I would like to learn more about the intuitive settings before I enable one. So maybe that'll be an interview for a podcast. What do you think, Mal?
I don't know.
All right, Mal says, I don't know. I'm confused. What is this, a refrigerator? No, Mal, it's not. I have one Y-jack sensor right here in supply. I have one back there in the return around the corner, so it's not in view of the coil. And here are the temperatures that it's showing right now. For the manometer, let's go ahead and hook that up, and I'll show you guys what the supply and return are. They're too far apart if I had to do them separately like a doofus. So need to get some more hose from my manometer. Using the UEI EM152. I really like this one. Really cool. Zero it out there, and here we go. Let's check the supply first. See, we're bouncing around just about 1.4, 1.5 at the maximum. If we take the maximum, let's say 1.14, so not too bad. You see it's a little bit of turbulence right there, but we have a trunk that's designed to take a few different zones in the future if I want to, so that was the idea there. But 0.14 is what our supply is. Our return is about 0.14, 0.15 was the highest point I saw it on, so we'll take 0.15. So going with 0.3 will be pretty daggone close to the actual static pressure. So we're gonna look up 0.3 on the blower chart for high speed and see where we're at, because we're at tap 4 and tap 2 by default. There's 0.6, that's right at 0.3 and we add them together. For the 36 air handler, tap 4, we come over here to 0.3, we're right at 1121, which is just a shade below 400 CFM per ton. We're looking at right around, let's see, 80, we divided by 3, right about 375, between 375 and 380 per ton. So that's looking pretty good. That's right on the money there. We're in a very humid climate, so I'm not gonna mind it being a little bit less than 400 CFM per ton. And tap 2, we had to get a separate set of numbers for that. But tap 4 is the one I was really concerned with. That's the one I'm gonna show you guys here today. So it looks like we're pretty dead on as far as airflow. We're good as far as charge, and we're looking pretty good overall, guys. Running in second stage, has 2-stage operation for the fan to help dehumidification. And as you see outside, we're pouring out the water. We'll take another look at the thermostat. It's pretty cool as well. And then I'll do a little bit of tour next time I come over here. There we go. Take it out of force mode so it can just run normally. And then I'll turn it off for a minute and restart it. 7.7 and 9, so right in there. Looking good. Mallory's got dirt on her leg to treat an itchy bug bite. That's ancient Indian ritual.